Hello, one and all, to Inside the Majors. Today, we have something new to talk about with someone not so new. Well, not to the majors and to the podcast anyway. We'll be catching up with our great friend and fearless leader, Mike, to hear about an exciting new sim racing service that he has just gone public with, well, to the majors community anyway, ahead of its imminent launch. I'm also going to have a run through the championship standings in all regions ahead of round 10 this weekend. Plus, take a look back at the Sudspeed 24-ish hours of Rd Atlanta that was held a little over a week ago too. So let's roll with the bumper and get it started. In recent days, a new service to the sim racing community has been launched, centred around incident review and what I'm going to call fault resolution, as well as professional stewarding and live admin of leagues. SimRacingStewards.com is the creation of somebody very familiar to us here, Major CEO and founder Mike Ouellette. So it felt natural to give Mike a call and hear more about it straight from the Force. Not the Force.
Keep that in.
Exactly. May the Force be with us.
Exactly.
So it felt natural to give Mike a call and hear more about it straight from the source. So welcome to Inside the Majors again, Mike.
Hey, how's it going, Gary?
So Sim Racing Stewards, give us the executive summary of what it is, where it came from, and what people can expect at their initial glance of the site.
Sim Racing Stewards is really, it's two services, if you really think of it. See, on the left-hand side, we have the social media, fun, for everybody, free incident review platform. Most sim racers are very familiar with the Sim Racing Stewards Reddit, which is pretty dang popular, and it gets a lot of videos and discussion every day. And in total truth, the idea for the site and for not the entire evolution of the service, but for that element of the site came directly from that. And I thought, this is really cool, but what if we could add some more layers to it? And so that's really what this is this is sort of like the Sim Racing Stewards Reddit on steroids, where you can still come in, you can still post a video, you can still have a conversation about it, but crucially, you and anybody else in the community can vote on who was at fault, whether there was any fault, whether it was netcode, etc. You can have a healthy conversation about that. We also have what I will coin as professional stewards on our service that will vote on these incidents and render a decision. And at the end of the voting period, for each one of these incidents that gets posted by a user, there's official verdicts, one from the community and one from the stewards. So for those of you who are familiar with Rotten Tomatoes, or you have the expert reviewer reviews and you have the fan reviews, you've got two different reviews that people can digest and take into it. And that's all supposed to be fun. Number one, cause conversation and just be something to do for fun. But also, crucially, it allows us to evaluate every single person in the community who votes and every single steward that we have on the site who votes. We can analyze their performance in voting versus what was the actual outcome of those. And so people who diverge from the actual result on a regular basis probably aren't really good steward candidates. And if they're currently a steward and their steward rating is really low, that's something for us to take into consideration. Anyway, the idea is that people who are aspiring to do this on a regular basis, whether it be for the majors or any other leagues, which we'll talk about in a second, that they can get better at it and that we can evaluate them in an objective way instead of hey, you are breathing, and hey, you are willing to show up on this day. So yes, you're going to be a steward. This is a way to say, oh, you're interested. Great. Let's see how you do when you actually vote on real incidents that happen. And we get to test that out in a fun environment as opposed to a serious environment of a league or a special event or something to that. So anyway, so that's the left-hand side of the service is the social media. Upload your incident and see what happens. See what the community thinks. The second side of the service is for those leagues and for those special events where they can utilize the Sim Racing Stewards in the same way. They can upload incidents post-race. We can use the post-race reviews. They get a private, we call it a paddock, a private channel just for their incidents. Only their drivers can see them. Only their drivers can interact with them. And there will be select, and in many cases, hand-selected stewards on the professional side who render verdicts on league events. Also, we will offer live stewarding, just like we have in the majors. If a league wants live stewards, again, we'll have this very large pool of stewards that we are cultivating at all times, continually, all the time, that leagues will be able to choose from. based on a number of factors, whether it's their rating, where they're from, what their expertise is, from which sim it is, their expertise is from what style of racing it is. The idea is that there will be such a large pool of stewards that leagues really get the pick of the litter and can narrow down the people who are going to be best suited to their league. So league services is an absolutely huge critical part of the whole sim racing steward service. But really, those are the two sides of it.
As we know, sim racing forums and debates can get spicy at times. I think healthy conversation is how you just put it. What sort of moderation is there going to be in terms of keeping this community under control and not letting it get out of hand?
Yep. So every incident, if you go onto the website, you can open an incident now and you'll see the comments that are there. And if you see something that is nasty or offensive or spam or any of the normal things you would think of, you can report that. Alerts the admins immediately. We can review it. It's similar to a Discord sort of a thing, but you alert us. We get it put in a queue, and we can delete the message. We can ban the user. We can tell you you're crazy and dismiss it. All those moderation options are at our disposal. But the long and the short of it is that if you see something that shouldn't be there, you can alert us, and we're alerted instantly, which is great.
Now, there's no shortage of opinions on the internet. And aside from expressing their own opinion, what benefit to the sim racing community is there for people to go and look at videos and share their opinions?
Boy, that's a great question. People just seem to love it. It's hard for me to really wrap my head around, but people just love looking at this stuff and sharing their thoughts on it. I think it's just they love sim racing. They love racing. It's a place for them to voice opinions and to have dialogue with other people of like mind. It's honestly a hobby for a lot of people. They just love to do it. We want to create a more robust avenue for that.
For somebody wanting to submit a video, how can they do it and what formats are acceptable? So, for instance, can I just upload a replay file directly from iRacing?
No, but you can upload any movie file. So an MP4, a .mov, I don't know what all the different formats are, but any movie format will work. I think it'll accept videos. Obviously, it depends on how compressed it is, but the videos can be almost 5 minutes long, which obviously you would never need to upload a video that long. But so you can upload a large video that has lots of different angles if you want to, whatever. But the upload process couldn't be simpler. You do have to be a member on the Sim Racing Stewards website. It's a free account, so there's no issue there. But once you've signed up, you'll see the paddock, the list of all the different incidents that have been submitted, and then a giant button that says Submit Incident. And anytime you want to, you can submit your own incident and see what the community thinks.
Now, I saw on Discord some people asking whether the new site would replace the current system for majors or MEC live stewarding. Is that the case?
I hope so. That's the goal for me, and I know you're the interviewer right now, but really this was your and I's brainchild. You had as much to do with it as I did, and I think that's our goal, right? Is that we use this platform, that we cultivate the stewards here, and it works not just for majors and MEC, but for any other league that wants to use it. So yeah, that's the goal for me anyway.
When we're talking about replacing, we're talking about the service replacing the volunteer aspect of the majors rather than the in-race making decisions on the fly, penalising people as
yes,
goes on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, like I said, the league services that SRS is going to offer will include both post-race protest reviews, in-race protest reviews, and live stewarding in race. So each league will get to decide what they want to do. There will be different price points for leagues based on the services that they desire. I fully intend to have, for leagues who want to use this all year round, to allow them to have monthly options to where it's not expensive all the time. They can pay a certain amount every month and be good. But yeah, so yes, when we say replace what we're doing now, we don't mean replace it with nothing. We mean replace it with better. We, as a league, the majors, we pay the people who make our coins. We pay iRacing for the hosted sessions. We pay our broadcasters. It's only right that the stewards are compensated for their time. And by doing so, it allows us to have more scrutiny with who is a steward. So all of those are supposed to be good things.
And on top of incident reviews and penalties and those sorts of things, other things that the professional side of this service will be offering is things like running manually run safety cars, potentially even providing rule sets to leagues or events that need that sort of stuff written for them.
Absolutely.
Basically, everything that we're doing for the major series, the MEC, through this service would essentially be available for other leagues and events to take on.
Correct. Yep, exactly.
For somebody that's keen to get involved in the service side, being a professional steward, what should they consider before they look into it?
Well, good question. And that is really to me, one of the best parts of the whole Hrs service is there is a natural, defined pathway for anybody who wants to do this. So if in your mind you're like, yeah, I want to be a steward, I'd like to officiate events, I'd love to get compensated for it, or I just love to do it, whatever. The first thing you do is you come onto the Sim Racing Stewards site and you evaluate and you vote on as many incidents as you can. You want to be careful, and you want to be mindful, and you want to really try to make the correct decision, because again, your accuracy rating is going to be reflected in every one of those votes that you take. Once a person has completed at least 20 votes, they're eligible to fill out the Sim Racing Stewards Become a Steward form. Additionally, you will have a predetermined set list of incidents that have been evaluated that potential stewards through it to evaluate and come to a similar conclusion as the professional stewards already have, at least in a percentage of the time. Again, it's really going to be important that all of our stewards, we're going to have hundreds of them in the long run, that we have like minds when it comes to how we officiate, what penalties we levy, how we determine fault, so that we can deliver a consistent service to whatever league we're working with, majors in particular, obviously, but for any of them.
For somebody that's running a league or an event that is keen to engage the service, what should they do to reach out to see what might be possible from SRS?
Right. So at this moment in time, you could email us at Mike or admin at Sim Racing Stewards, and we'll have a Garen at Sim Racing Stewards here shortly as well. So you can email us directly if you just want to ask questions. We are not taking league applications yet. We anticipate starting those on November 1st. And the reason why we're not taking them yet is because we want to build up a database of incidents and of voting results and of potential stewards' success and failures, so that we can, like I said, we want to make sure that we are set up to succeed, that we have enough stewards ready to go to handle any league that might come across and want to use our services, regardless of the time zone that they're in or the day of the week they have their events, the duration of their events, the type of the events, the sim that their events are on. There are a lot of things that we have to consider. And so, again, we need to build up a robust amount of folks that are capable of doing that before we just start offering this to anybody. Like I said, the league services are not available yet, but if you have questions and you want to get in ahead of time, you're more than welcome to email us. That's absolutely great.
Just for clarity, any concerns, errors that you find on the website or complaints, that's to Mike at simracingstewards.com. Any money can go to Garen at simracingstewards.com.
There you go. Perfect.
And just to finish up, obviously the site and the service is launching with iRacing. Is there plans to take it outside of the iRacing service into other platforms as well?
Oh, it's already. So anybody from any sim can come on to it and upload a video from any sim. Once we open up league applications, any sim will be able to request. Now, the caveat to that is, do we have stewards available for your sim? If the sim you're using is Richard Burns Rally, it might not work. Might not have anybody for you, but maybe we will. Who knows? But I'm obviously using an obscure long ago example. But if you're using like the original Assetto Corsa or something like that, again, some of those could be a little tougher. But if you're using LMU or iRacing or ACC Evo or anything that's, right now, I would expect that you'll be able to find league services immediately once we open them up. And again, like I said, the public side, the free social media side, is already available to every single sim. There is no restrictions whatsoever.
Okay. It's an exciting time for those of us involved. It's an exciting time for the sim racing community. It's certainly an exciting time for majors, but given that this is coming from largely the majors community, both in terms of origin and involvement and engagement. Yeah, it's going to be great to see where it goes, how it evolves. And thanks for coming on and giving us a bit more insight into it today, Mike.
I agree. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work, so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
This weekend starts the final quarter of the Majors Series season. After 9 rounds, the championship chances are starting to become clearer, and in all regions, the drivers who are still in the hunt are coming into focus. As we all get behind the wheel of the next-gen NASCAR this weekend, but at various circuits, it really is now go time in chasing down the Mario trophies. In International, the challenge for the title has probably come down to a race in 3. Current leader, Ewan Baker, has a handy lead after 2 wins and 6 top 5 finishes so far this season, remembering that only the best 7 results count up until now. So that is a very strong return. However, at around 120 and 140 points back, James Walker and Robert Northway could still make a run at Ewan over these final 3 races. One piece of bad luck from Ewan could open the way for one of those drivers to step up and get ahead, though without a run of dominance or drama befalling Ewan, James and Robert might find the gap a little big to overcome. Still, it's well within reach should they get a chance. There's also a group of 4 drivers, around 200 to 230 points back, still mathematically in with a chance. Justin Morton, Ben Doughty, myself somehow, and Thomas Hinz. But in reality, they're going to need a massive stroke of luck from the 3 above to get back in contention. The NASCAR Next Gen at Watkins Glen, which is where International will be this weekend, is quite a temperamental beast, and with potential safety cars, plenty of curbs lurking to send drivers into a spin, and tyre wear definitely a consideration, anything is possible. So it will for sure be great to see how the race runs and who can make the most of it. In the European region, the championship lead changed hands last round, with Trevor Vavrosky taking the top spot from defending champion Jesper Eriksson. With 50 points between them, it is absolutely game on for the 3 races to the end of the season. Should both of them falter, there are 2 further drivers sitting within touching distance that could get back into the discussions with a little bit of luck. Daniel Thomas and, again, somehow myself. It would take basically a run of 3 straight wins for Daniel or myself, pretty unlikely, to get to the front on results alone. So unless there is some mega drama in the Euro races, yes please, then the drivers to watch are certainly Trevor and Jesper. Just like the Internationals, the Euro event is on a road course in the NASCAR this weekend, the concrete-lined Charlotte Roval. The new layout has just been released by iRacing, and it has no forgiveness if you get it wrong. And over 109-lap race distance, plenty of opportunity for incidents, and even some narrow areas of the track that can get blocked. So the cartoon anvils might just make an appearance for our championship hopefuls. And lastly, to Americas. This is 100% a race in 3 now. Nathan Dowd, who has been atop the standings all season and won 4 races, has a 60-point lead over some guy who seems familiar, Christian Challoner. Pretty sure he's done all right over the years in majors. I'll have to check. Anyway, also in the hunt is Robert Nash, who, with 7 top 5 finishes to his name, has been a beacon of consistency this season, and at around 130 points back is still within reach of the front if he can get on a roll or take advantage of any mistakes. Unlike the other regions, Americas will be on oval this weekend, competing in the Southern 500. Plenty of tyre degradation, wall rubbing, and I'm guessing yellows could mean that there are strategy plays available to mix things up. And maybe doing something a little different from one of the championship contenders could help or hinder their points haul. Okay, so that's where things stand as we get into the last part of the season. Good luck to all those hunting down a Mario, except Trevor and Jesper, and I look forward to watching the action this weekend. The MEC special event for 2025, the Sudspeed 24-ish hours of Rd Atlanta, was run just over a week ago. The special event we do each year is both to have an extra race for our teams, but also to test rule changes and processes ahead of the next season. Now, this may sound like it's me pumping up my own tyres a bit, given that, yes, I run the event and the series, but I have to say I was absolutely pleased as punch with the way the event ran and the feedback and sentiments from the participants post-race. To have people in both the Discord and post-event survey calling it things like the best event they've ever taken part in and similar was beyond my greatest hopes. The ratings they gave the race, the admins, the procedures we tried, I really can't thank all the teams enough for their participation, spirit during the race, and also their kind words post. Sure, it was a single split and the numbers were down a little bit from what we'd hoped, but it really was a great time for all of us that were there. One of the rule changes we trialled was the lucky dog rule, where all cars a lap down or more were granted a lap back each time there was a safety car. Now, being honest, I thought that I and most of the field were going to dislike that rule, and it would be a one and done change and dropped for the MEC proper in 2026. However, in fact, it worked really well. It gave plenty of teams chances to get back into the fight, be that after self-inflicted drama or some seriously bad luck, and it meant that there was drama in all classes and fighting all the way to the end, which not only gave a great race for those teams involved, but made for a stellar broadcast, and thanks to Andrew and Pit Stop TV for a brilliant stream of the race. The feedback in the survey about the rule was that the vast majority, around 80%, thought that it enhanced the race, and because of that, it will be staying for the 2026 MEC season. As for the race results, all three classes had great fights all the way up to the end. In GTP, it was 2Pi Racing who took the win. Second was HSR Phantom Racing. And third on the podium was Bestial Racing. Hope I've pronounced that correctly. In LMP2, Rocket Ship, who were the pole sitters and early leaders, but had some dramas running into a backmarker at one point, got their lap back and ended up winning the race. So well done to you. Alcantech NHR finished second, and third was Sector 5 Racing. In GT3, Fusion No Talent 17 took the win in an extraordinarily close battle with the Fenson Brothers Racing, who I will point out were both Australians and so pulled an all-nighter to take part, so thank you. And in third place was Adrenaline Motorsports. To all the teams, though, not just those on the podium, again, thank you from me for participating. I can't wait to get the final details sorted for the MEC in 2026 out there and crack on in building the series to bigger and better things with you all. Okay, so that'll do us for this edition of Inside the Majors. I'll be back in around 2 weeks with a look at how the NASCAR events went and to have a chat with some other personalities in the Majors community. So look forward to catching you all then. Cheers. I can't wait for the first disgruntled person that comes and posts a video expecting validation of their view, and then it's entirely against them, and then they just go, well, this place is shit. And
That will happen lots.